All right, we will continue on with media availabilities. We are now joined by our defending race winner, Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. Jimmie, statistically speaking, you're one of the best here at Atlanta. Talk about coming back to the track and expectations this weekend.
Yeah, expectations are high. We're very excited to get to a 1.5-mile track. I'm excited about the new rules package, and I think these cooler temperatures are going to add a lot of grip and maybe not show the real potential. The drivers are so excited about the rules package. But I've always had great success here. It's been a lot of fun. I think this track with the high tire wear and the bumpy conditions and the fact that you've got to search around for lines really suits my style and suits my upbringing racing on the dirt. So it's been a great racetrack for me, and looking forward to a strong performance.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start in the middle with Kelly.
Kelly Crowder from PopularSpeed.com. Jimmie, a lot of drivers coming in this weekend seem to expect that it'll be more like the Atlanta of old, of cars sliding around with this package this weekend. Is that something you're expecting? More maybe the track being slick again and kind of having to muscle your way through the corners and on this surface?
Yeah, I mean we definitely have less downforce on the cars, which directionally will lead to that. I've kind of felt, and maybe it's just my opinion, but I felt like the surface of this track has always created the slick conditions. Even with a rules package that the drivers might not love, we still come to Atlanta and the drivers still love racing here. It's just as rough as it is and how porous the asphalt is, it just continues to create an environment that we love regardless of rules package or tire that shows up. It's always fun here.
All right, we'll go to Kenny and then Woody.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. First of all, Jimmie, you guys aren't changing manufacturers anytime soon, are you?
No.
All right, just want to get that clear.
Yep.
With only 2 races with a similar rules package under your belt, how far do you feel like you guys at Hendrick have come with this package, and how much is there still out there to learn?
There's still a lot to learn. The Las Vegas test for us went really well, and that's our only true kind of measuring stick and how we think we'll perform for the 16th season with the new rules package. But it's going to be a constant evolution. The teams are going to continue to figure out how to create more downforce or more mechanical grip. It's just kind of what we do every year. And honestly, the amount of downforce that's been taken away, I assume by the time we reach Homestead, we'll get most of that back. It's just the way these engineers work and the evolution of race cars. So hopefully we can take a bigger chunk out moving forward and really keep the downforce off the cars for all the reasons we've been talking about. But nothing's changed underneath mechanically really, with the race car. It's kind of air over the top. So I don't think there's a huge learning curve for everyone. I think it might fit the style of some drivers, the feel that some drivers are looking for more than others.
Does that change what you guys can do to a car in front of you or beside you because of the downforce changes? Now you could kind of move a car by where you were positioned at on the track. Has any of that changed, or do you know?
Yeah, I mean, directionally, I think if you can get to the bumper in front of you with the smaller spoiler, it will be easier to create the high pressure area and take rear downforce away from the car in front of you. In the 2 races we ran last year, it seemed that we could, more than anything, run closer to someone and get inside that 3 to 5 car length window easier. So we're all speculating and assuming that with the smaller spoiler, it's allowing the air to change directions and get back down low again so that the approaching race car has proper downforce on it. And then that's something that we've kind of strategized and said would work, and then we were able to really feel it in those 2 races.
All right, we'll go to Woody and then come over to the left.
Woody came with MRN. Jimmie, you did the Vegas test earlier, and the thing that stuck out at me that you kept saying about it was how fast it was. Can you look ahead to that race and what you learned about that test and what we might see there?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the goal. I think NASCAR, the drivers, Goodyear, everybody felt like with the softer tire compound, we should be able to pop off a fast lap or 2, but it would create a lot of fall off. And at that test, with the weather conditions and the green racetrack, the fall off was minimal. and it's really difficult to make a tire have the fall off at every racetrack the same way. So it might be more of a Vegas characteristic, and the speeds might stay sustained longer. I was at the tire test in Kansas, hot summer day, the same tire that we ran in Vegas, and it had seconds of fall off, and everybody left there smiling ear to ear. It still ran a fast lap and had all this fall off. Then we went to Vegas, and it wouldn't slow down. And we're like, wait a second, this isn't what we were hoping for, but every situation's different, and hopefully the weather comes up and will help create some more fall off once we get out to Las Vegas.
All right, we'll go over here to the left and then back to Lee.
Hey, Jimmie. Paul Newberry from Associated Press. Just curious to your thoughts. There's only 39 entries here this week. I think it's the smallest number for a Cup race in 20-something years. And just wondering if that's any cause for concern, and does the sport lose anything when you don't have some of the kind of the old mom and pop operations you used to see trying to get in each week?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the count, and with the charter system, I assume there would be 40 here. Well, I guess there aren't 40 charters. So, the whole point of the charter system was to create quality over quantity, and we've all known there's been a lot of start and park teams that have come along, and from the way I understand it, the new charter system doesn't necessarily give that, promote that to come and try to qualify for the show and then just make some laps and head home. So I think the money's being distributed equally or better served through the rest of the field and the people that support the series week in and week out. So I hate hearing smaller numbers, but I guess directionally that's where the charter has taken things, and you do have those 4 spots on the end where that might not show.
All right, we'll go to Lee and then over to Mark.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. A lot of people have pointed out that it's almost like there have been 8 cars at Hendrick Motorsports with the Stewart-Haas Racing contingent working side by side with Hendrick. How does that dynamic change now with the Ford announcement?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a shock. We have contracts in place with Stewart-Haas Racing that Hendrick's got to honor and will honor and honor with integrity and in the way that we always do. And we have a lot of employees whose jobs that count on that and rely on that. So nothing's different this year. Unfortunately, we have a year to figure out if we want to service some other teams and provide engines and chassis, or how we handle it. But I know Rick's goal is to keep the staff where it is, and that gets me excited, because if we maintain the staff, I think we'll be able to develop that much more cool stuff for our race cars. So it's going to be tough to figure out how to fund it, and there's no way around that, but I think this could be really good and will be really good for Hendrick Motorsports in the long run.
Do you ever see Chevy going to one engine the same way that Ford and Toyota have both done?
I'm not familiar with the programs all that well, and I wasn't aware Ford was in that situation. The Toyota stuff, I know there certainly were some bumps in the road getting started, and now they're in a good place. It'd be really difficult for me to want to have engines provided from anywhere else than Hendrick Motorsports, because they've been the best hands down year after year. So, my selfish standpoint, I don't want to see it go that way.
All right, we'll go to Mark over on the right.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Jimmie, just sort of following up on that last line of questioning. Number one, you talked about being shocked. I mean, was that just a real stunner to you that happened, and they were able to keep that a secret?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Tony's relationship with GM all these years, Harvick's, it definitely was a surprise to me to hear that, and the fact that it did stay quiet for a while.
And my follow-up to that is, how frustrating has it been, and is it a possible good thing that you guys at Hendrick Motorsports, your 4 cars, 4 teams, won't be getting beat by basically your own stuff, and you have a chance to go out and just kind of have your own group and go out and take the Hendrick stuff and beat the other guys? Yeah,
I mean, it's certainly not fun to be beat by your own equipment, but at the same time, it's helped motivate us in a lot of ways, and we know that we've been getting outrun by our own stuff. So it's helped us maybe find a direction and where to work a little easier. you know, it's still so new, and we still have this year to finish out that I guess my mind hasn't gone there yet, and how it's going to be different. If you know, giving Rick Hendrick 12 months to figure out how to make it work is the exciting part, and I feel like Hendrick Motorsports is going to be stronger yet come 17.
Final questions for Jimmie. All right, Jimmie, thanks for joining us this weekend. Go ahead. We'll get a mic to Stan.
Jimmie, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. I want to go back a little bit to what you said earlier, because fans don't understand. Why do drivers want tires to wear off and speeds to drop down a little bit? Fans think you should be out there doing the same speed every single lap.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if we're all running the same speed every lap, nobody's passing. And the faster we go, the harder it is to pass. So if you know, you start a run and you're running quick lap times, it's great and it's fun and exhilarating and fans love it. But slowing up a second or two, if you don't have a average lap speed posted somewhere, you can't see that. But it makes a huge difference in our worlds. And it really allows us to race side by side. And then it also allows it allows comers and goers, you know, from a handling perspective or a driver style perspective. And if you can be nice to your tires, you're going to last longer and work your way to the front. If you're a young guy and you've something to prove, you're probably going to start off quick and then fall fast. So it creates passing, and that's what we're all after. You got the best drivers, best teams in the country. You put them all in equal cars running the same speed, it's a parade. You know, we don't want that.
We'll finish up with Bob.
Bob Hawker, ESPN. If this has been asked, then don't worry about it. But has anybody, with Stuart Haas going to Ford, is there much concern from the Hendrick camp? First, from a kind of just what you share with them technically and ideas you get from them, and then second, just the business impact on the company as a whole.
Yeah, we're touching on it some, and I mean the business impact. Fortunately, we have 12 months to figure out how to stay where we are from an employee standpoint. I know that's Rick's goal, and Rick's made that known through the company. So we've got 12 months to get there. We have contracts to honor now, and Gene and Tony and Rick have worked through all those details, and you know, we're honoring the contracts as we would, and you know, they're Chevy-powered, Hendrick-powered engines and Hendrick chassis right now. So you know, we're going to